taking on the Oregon State Beavers. Alongside the legendary head coach, Pat Casey, my name's Chris Maikoski. And Coach, we get a treat today with Dax Whitney on the bump for the Beavers. 17 strikeouts last Friday against Baylor. Going back and watching the highlights from that one, what impressed you most about that performance?
Well, the stuff is electric. I mean, you're touching 99, 100. Slider, if they've tightened that up. I talked to Coach Dorman, said he really wanted that pitch to get tight, bumped 90 on that, could throw the change whenever he wanted, but just absolutely dominated. And, the stuff was good last year. Freshman kid pitched in the College World Series. I thought he was probably as good as anybody there, but, man, he separated last Friday night.
He is the headliner today. Houston will counter with this batting order put out by head coach Todd Whitting. McLean Helton will lead things off in left field. Then it's the multi-dimensional threat at right field, Xavier Perez. Antonelli Savateri is at second for Houston, followed by Riley Jackson, the first baseman who homered last Friday against UT Rio Grande Valley. Blake Fields is the center fielder, a freshman who the Cougars think could be their next big star. Catcher is Dylan Maxey, an impact transfer from Texas Tech. DH Easton Whitfield hits seventh. Jackson Lima is at third base. He's off to a hot start, hitting .370 with 4 runs batted in. And the shortstop, Tyler Cox, plays in the 9-hole for Houston today. Let's take a look at the defense that'll back Dax Whitney up in this one. Adam Haight is in left. Nyan Hayes in center. Easton Talt, who made a game-saving catch last Friday against Baylor and then drove in a pair of runs to win that one for the Beavers. He is in right. Paul Vasquez is at third. Cooper Vance at short. A.J. Singer at second base, and Jacob Craig at first. The battery mate for Whitney is Jacob Galloway. Houston about ready to get this thing started. They'll be in the Road Grays, the designated visiting team in our tournament opener, coming off a weekend, Coach, where they dropped 2 out of 3 to UT Rio Grande Valley. That's a Vaqueros team that's going to contend for a Southland Conference championship, but a series that Coach Whitting freely admits that they should win.
Yeah, I think early in the year, it depends on how things are going with your arms. That's all there is to it, because you don't want to extend your leverage guys. You don't want to extend your starters. So I think if you get in a situation, of course, that's a big game for Rio Grande. I mean, they want to beat Houston. Houston's got to get their guys ready for conference. And I think sometimes those things can help you out down the road.
Take a look at the umpiring crew that'll be on the field today at Riders Field. Mike Morris is behind the plate. Jason Millsap down the first base side. Eddie Newsom up the middle. Andrew Fulton, umpire at third base. Crew put together by our organizers here in Frisco, Peak Events. 2 head coaches still discussing things at home plate with our crew. Mitch Canham for Oregon State, Todd Whitting for Houston. Oregon State has not played since last Sunday, where they lost 2 out of 3 at the Round Rock College Baseball Classic. What is that bounce back conversation like when you perform against a good field, but to only have 1 win in that first trip to Texas? That's not a great sign for the Beavers early on.
Well, obviously high expectations with Oregon State every year. Kind of seems like when it's this early in the year and you lose a couple games, it's odd, because we have jumped out to great starts. But you got to remember the guys that they lost last year, from Arquette to Turley to Weber. I mean, guys that were in there every day, Caraway. So I just think they're a little short offensively right now, that they'll get that straightened out. Arms are plus. I think they're going to be just fine.
Beavers taking the field in Frisco. We're at the AA home of the Texas Rangers, the Frisco Rough Riders, and Dax Whitney making his way to the bump. Last Friday against Baylor at the Round Rock Classic, 7 innings pitched, no runs allowed, just a single bare hit, and an Oregon State record 17 strikeouts, tying that mark. No walks for him in that outing. Also a no decision, but thanks to Easton Talt driving home 2 runs in the 9th, the Beavers earned a 3-1 victory. Whitney was named the Round Rock Classic MVP, which is rare for a team that goes 1-2, Coach, to have a player the MVP of a tournament. But when you put up that kind of performance that gets national attention, it was hard to vote for anybody else.
Yeah, I think that he made it pretty easy on those guys voting, you know. Let's say I'm going to punch out 17, not walk anybody, and dominate. So, yeah, it is odd, but obviously that's how good he was and how good he can be.
Kendall Rogers of our D1 baseball family said after that one that Whitney might have put together the most dominant start in Oregon State program history. And, Coach, you've seen a ton of those start from Beaver pitchers over the years. Is it fair to say that?
Well, I think in context of what his stuff was like, it is fair. I would say the results of what Kevin Abel did in the College World Series, retiring the last 20 batters in a row, and his stuff wasn't bumping 100, but it was good enough. You know, it all comes down to whether you win or lose the game. So I would say that I love Kendall's assessment of that, because the stuff was probably so dominant that he didn't feel like Baylor really could get anything going. But I'll tell you, Kevin Abel, and there's been other ones too,
sure,
when I was there and before me, but this certainly is one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the country.
Coach Pat Casey joining us here on D1 Baseball. 3-time College World Series champion with Oregon State, 5-time champion of the Pac-10/12. And now he gets to hang out with me for a weekend.
Right on. I'm
Frisco
excited
Classic
about
baseball.
that. I like it.
McLean Helton will lead things off for Houston. Sophomore hitting .250. As Whitney looks in to get this 10th annual Frisco Classic underway. Coming at 99 with his first offering of this contest. Helton waiting on the 1-0. Goes opposite field, down the line. Helton with a lead-off double into the corner.
That was a great swing. You know, sometimes you got to not try to be early when a guy's going that good, but just stay with it. He did a nice job, stayed inside the ball. 99, you're just hoping, you know.
Last week, Baylor was only able to get 1 hit off of Whitney all day long. Houston gets its first hit with its first batter. Not wasting any time here in Frisco. Baylor's lone hit came with their second batter of the game last week in the first, and then Whitney settled down and was rocking and rolling.
I was thinking this guy's just excited as heck that he didn't get the bunt sign, trying to get 99 down. He says, come on, Coach.
This is Xavier Perez, the Houston right fielder. Sophomore hitting .355. Rips it through at 98 down the middle.
Yeah, him and Broussard last year were their guys. They really put up big numbers, I think, between the two of them. Drove in 80-some runs, stole a bunch of bags, and, you know, unfortunate that Broussard's not able to play today, but I was excited to see him play.
Yeah, Trey Broussard out with a hamstring injury. Coach Whitting telling me yesterday after practice that we may see Broussard in a pinch hit appearance at some point this weekend, but that will be about it. Hope to have him ready in time for the Kansas State series.
Yeah,
fouls back.
He made that a point of emphasis when I was visiting as well. You know, I really want him ready for Kansas State. Don't want to take any chances here, and doing the right thing for the kid.
Helton on second, leadoff double. Perez waiting on the offering from Helton. Chases one away. That dirty breaking pitch that we saw last week against Friday. He's got it dialed in again here.
Yeah, Coach Dorman had talked about that. That was one of their goals in the offseason, was tighten that slider up. He thought it was more of a slurve last year. Thought that if he could tighten it up, get a little firmer, and he's bumping 90 with it. You could see by that pitch that it's tough to handle.
And when you're going from 99 on the heater to 89 on that slider, it's a near impossible task. Antonelli Savateri now for Houston. Senior batting .269 on the young year, 5 runs batted in.
The one thing you have with guys that strike a lot of guys out, they get deep in those pitch counts, you know, so sometimes early contact is good. You don't want to see him get into high pitch counts early in the year.
Tapped it back into the glove of Galloway for strikeout number 2. .99 and high to retire Savateri. Just hard to lay off that one, Coach.
Yeah, it's on you in a hurry.
Now Riley Jackson, cleanup hitter for the Cougars.
I think you got to pick a pitch early in the count.
First time at 3 digits today. High fastball at 100. Pitch to Jackson, foul back towards us.
I needed
Coach
a
might
glove.
have a souvenir, but you still have your window closed.
I needed a glove. Well, nobody's come up and showed me how to get the window open. You know what I mean? Where's my guy? Let's go.
We'll get that taken care of between innings. One-two pitch coming to Jackson. Runner going, Helton looking for third. He'll dive in head first.
You know, they're going to have to do that, Chris. They're going to have to take every chance they can get them advanced runners. Hope for a wild pitch, hope that somebody boots a ball, somebody dumps one in, because as you can see, the stuff is absolutely filthy.
So a wild pitch against Whitney to advance Helton. Now just 90 feet away from giving Houston a 1-0 lead. Here comes a Jackson into center. Hayes after it. Can't pick it up. Cougars go up 1-0 on the strength of a Riley Jackson RBI double.
Wow, nice piece of hit. Really good piece of hit.
Hayes on the run, full extension. Rolls to the wall, and it's 1-0 Houston.
Might like to see that center fielder shading a little bit to the gap there when you're going 100. Probably not going to pull you quite as much as you think.
You round that one up. And that's 101 off the bat, off a 100-mile-per-hour pitch down the pipe to Jackson. Now to Blake Fields.
He's got to pick a pitch here, you know, and Dax has got the freedom to, he can command all 3 pitches, so this is a tough chore for anybody.
1-1 with Jackson leading off second. Whitney looking him back. High ceiling for Blake Fields. Freshman hitting .308 in the early part of this campaign. 4 runs batted in. And he goes down looking. 3 strikeouts for Whitney. in this top of the first, but he allows a pair of doubles, and the Cougars go up 1-0. You're watching the Frisco Classic on D1 Baseball. Frisco Classic brought to you by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball. Covering every game from coast to coast, D1 Baseball is the resource that no college baseball fan can be without. Starting 9 for Oregon State. It begins with Easton Talt in right field. A week ago against Baylor, catch of the year in the 7th, and then a 2-run game-winning single in the 9th. He's followed by shortstop Cooper Vance, the catcher, Jacob Galloway, a veteran and a grinder in this Beaver lineup. The DH is Ryan Vanderbrink, then it's A.J. Singer, the second baseman. Nyan Hayes plays in center, maybe the highest ceiling in this Beaver lineup. First baseman is Jacob Craig, followed by Paul Vasquez at third, and Adam Haight in left. All to face Chris Cinta for Houston. Maybe the most trusted arm in the Cougar bullpen right now, Coach, and he gets a Friday start.
That's got to be exciting for him, you know, especially facing a team like Oregon State that he feels like would be a great challenge for him, and looks like it's going to be a heck of a matchup. Easton Talt leading off, you know, I tell you, Chris, this guy is electric. I mean, he can do a lot of things. He can really run. He's got power. You saw what he can do defensively, and he's just a tremendous young man to be around.
Talt bunting on the first pitch, and Riley Jackson beats him by a half step. 1 up, 1 down.
I always felt like if the first baseman was playing where he was positioned, it would dictate if you're going to push that you'd go short, because he's got that 4-hole covered. If he plays the line, then we'll try to push it between the pitcher and first base. So he probably would have been a little better off going right down the line.
Here's the defense backing up Cinta in the outfield, left to right, McLean Helton, Blake Field, Xavier Perez. Infield left to right is Jackson Lalima, Tyler Cox, Antoni Savateri, and Riley Jackson. Dylan McKay backing up Cinta. Dylan Maxey behind the plate for the Cougars. Cooper Vance with that compact swing sends it into center.
Real good piece of hitting. Stayed inside the ball. Just did a nice job with, didn't try to do too much, kind of like what McLean did, lead off for Houston.
Quick work by the senior, putting his average just above 300 on the season. Leads to Jacob Galloway. Galloway had the best seat in the house for that gem from Dax Whitney a week ago behind the plate for that 17 strikeout master class. Best pitching performance he has ever caught, he told us.
Well, I could imagine. I would like to visit when they're about the one that was better.
Going to be hard to find one.
Yeah.
Galloway said that after the 5th inning, he stopped going up the decks between frames. Just let him stay dialed in. Didn't need to have any more conversations.
Yeah, I would say that he had it in control. Autopilot.
1-1 with 1 out. And Vance at first. They'll check him back.
And we know Galloway's seen quite a few arms. He's been at SC, A&M, now at Oregon State.
Waiting on the 1-1 as Senta looks at Vance, now comes to the plate, missing away. And while we praise what Whitney did a week ago, of course, the offense for Oregon State is not playing at the level that they want to just yet, as that one's up above the head of Galloway. But Jacob, for his part, said that it's only 7 games deep. Nobody needs to hit the panic button yet. Just getting back to the process, everything will work out.
Yeah, I would say 7 games. That would be a very good statement. It's early, playing a lot of people, lost a lot of people, so game's going to be the teacher for a while.
On the 3-1, the shift was on, and Galloway trying to bunt it down the line, and it rolls foul.
I love that. I mean, if you can handle the bat when they do that, you walk there. The one thing you want to make sure is you don't have to be perfect or foul when they got the shift on that far. So I love the thought.
Galloway will head back to the box with a 3-2 count against him. Nearly perfect. Just inches away from hitting the bag at third.
Yeah, as far as they were shifted, if there's nobody on, he might have had a double.
Payoff pitch coming from Senta. Runner is off into right field. That'll bounce in front of Perez. Cooper Vance will stop at third base. Runners on the corners for the Beavers, and 1 out in the bottom of the first.
I think it's pretty obvious that Coach Canham wants to ignite the offense by getting things going. You know, you had Talt push to lead off the game. We had Galloway trying to put one down. Now we start a runner. I mean, that's good baseball right there. You know, I know he's trying to get them going. This is a good way to force their hand, take a little pressure off of them.
This is Ryan Vandenbrink. Freshman, only 5 ABs so far on the year. Watches that one go past. Low for ball 1. Vance at third, Galloway at first. Swing and a miss from Vandenbrink.
1-0 change. Effective pitch.
Cougars up 1-0. First inning in Frisco. Missing low and in. Senta's top outing so far was on opening day against Wake Forest. Locked down a win against the Demon Deacons, going the last 4 innings in Puerto Rico, as the Cougars went 4-0 in that opening weekend tournament.
Yeah, I talked to, Todd thinks the club's good. He loves the chemistry, loves the fact they play together. He's got a few transfers, so they're going to have a little bit of time getting together, but he likes the club.
Vandenbrink aboard with a 3 pass. Bases loaded for Oregon State, and A.J. Singer stepping up. Leads to a visit on the mound for Houston, as the Cougars jumped on Dax Whitney early. A couple of extra base hits, giving Houston a 1-0 lead.
Now, before the game, did you think after the top of the first you'd be telling me that Houston would be ahead when we were talking about Dax Whitney?
No.
Isn't that great about baseball?
Yes, it is.
You come to the yard every day and you learn something good, you learn something not so good.
If you would have told me he had 3 strikeouts after a half inning, I would have said
I probably would have. I would have agreed with that. I said if he punches out 3, they're probably not going to get on the board.
Conversation complete. Head of Cinta's first pitch to A.J. Singer. Missing in. Book on Singer, the glue guy, the coach on the field, and perhaps the Beaver with the highest baseball IQ.
Yeah, he's a really good player. Had a chance to sign last year, came back. He's going to get it going. He's ready to go.
1-0 to the shortstop, Cox, flipping it to second, on to first for 2. The Cougars get out of the inning. Beavers loaded the bases with 1 out, but Singer grounds into a double play, and the Cougars will go to the second inning ahead by 1. This, the 10th annual Frisco Classic on D1 Baseball. Frisco Classic number 10 at Riders Field in Frisco, Texas. This is the home of the Texas Rangers AA affiliate, the Rough Riders. But for the last decade, home of the best outside of Omaha. Weekend 3 of the college baseball season means this tournament arrives. And with it this season, Coach, perfect weather has arrived as well. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Absolutely
beautiful blue skies.
Absolutely beautiful. I was here yesterday for practice watching Alabama work out. Beautiful then too. Been amazing.
This would be the day to play hooky.
That's what we're doing, isn't it? This isn't a job. We get to go to the yard.
You and I somehow have finagled it for a very long time to make coming out to a baseball stadium our work. All these other folks are having to take a half day of vacation instead of going to work on a Friday afternoon.
Well, D1 Baseball's made it an absolute treat for people to follow college baseball. What they've done, my good friend Kendall called me and said, hey, you want to go out there? And I said, absolutely. What you guys have done for baseball is incredible. This first thing we do is get in our app to find out the scores, the stories. It's wonderful.
79 degrees. We'll hit a low of 60 later tonight. Not a cloud in the sky as we play north of Dallas.
Wow. I mean, that is absolutely filthy right there. I know it was a ball, but it's coming out of his hands and exploding on the hitter.
That's 101, just low. 1-2 to Maxey, missing away.
And I'll tell you, Chris, the Houston hitters are doing a good job. I mean, you're talking about a college guy going 100 miles an hour with a slider and a change, and they're doing a good job. I know they punched out 3 times, but they're not coming off the plate. They're staying on the ball. Looks good.
2-2. Got him. Had to go look over to first. He did go around, strike 3. And 4 strikeouts. All 4 outs for Houston so far by way of the K. Easton Winfield steps in at DH. Just 3 at-bats for him so far this year. Has yet to pick up a hit. Wearing number 0 on the back of his gray Cougar uniform.
You need to bring that up after you talk about he doesn't have a hit yet. You know, we don't want to match that up with the batting average. He transferred from Texas, didn't he? Was he a Texas transfer?
He started at Louisiana Monroe, then a year in Austin. Now his 3rd collegiate stop in Houston. Got 19 starts for Coach Schlossnagle and the Longhorns last year. Hit .250. Oh, 2 away.
I haven't seen Texas, but I heard they're real good. Schloss got them going. I mean, always does. I heard they're even better than they were last year.
For as much as you can tell from an opening weekend series against UC Davis, I walked away thinking that looked like an Omaha-bound team. Strike 3, 99 from Whitney. That's 5 Ks.
He does it easy too, you know. That's the thing that people don't realize about max effort, minimum efficiency is not good on the arm, but maximum efficiency, minimal effort, that's what you want. His mechanics are outstanding. Coach Dorman's done an amazing job with him. What a jump he's made from his freshman year.
Jackson LaLima has a hot bat to start this season. 370. 2 homers, 4 runs batted in. Being the 8th spot for the Cougs. Yeah, I had that opening weekend series for SEC Network for Texas and UC Davis, and they looked every bit the #1 team in the land. Although some people think LSU is just a tick better. And when you're the champ, you deserve to be #1. Dax Whitney with 5 strikeouts through 5 outs of the Cougars.
Late in June in Omaha, we'll be able to figure out who the best team is. Like by June 26th or 7th usually.
We're only in weekend 3.
Exactly. Let them play.
2-2, missing high. But even early in the year, Coach, I love the show that Peak Events puts on because it feels like a regional just without a 4 seed. You've got great competition all weekend long. You have to adjust day by day to a new opponent. 3-2. Wow. Got him looking.
Wow.
6 strikeouts through 2 innings for Whitney. The slider is dialed in for the Oregon State ace and the preseason All-American. But his Beavers trail the Cougars. It's 1-0 in Frisco.
too, with nobody on. I mean, the guy just walked back.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco, proud to provide the very best in healthcare with a quality of service that goes above and beyond your expectations. We have taken care of this community in its greatest time of need and will continue to do so in the years to come. Chris Mykowski with Pat Casey on D1Baseball.com. The first of 6 games this weekend in the Frisco College Baseball Classic. Houston got a pair of doubles in the top of the first to go up 1-0 on Oregon State. But it's still the Dax Whitney show today. 6 strikeouts in just 2 innings, bringing 100 regularly and dipping down to a slider at 89 that he can put wherever he wants.
Well, when you're hitting in the 8-hole and he's dropping 100 on you, you don't think you should get a 3-2 slider, right? You know, like nobody on 3-2, 90-mile-an-hour slider. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it is that good that it's crazy. You could be a fairly routine defender for Oregon State today, I think, and get away with it, right? All you have to do is watch him punch people out.
Fouled off. Towards the Oregon State bullpen, it's Hayes, Craig, and Vasquez due up for the Beavers. Fouling off the 0-2, staying alive.
You know, I really know they like Hayes, thinks he's got big upside. Excited to watch him play throughout the season, find out what he can do.
Now, the word is raw right now, but plenty of power, plenty of speed. Game just needs some polish.
Like they all do.
That's why people like you are around, right?
Well, I don't know, you know.
Swing and a miss by Hayes. That's strikeout number 1 for Cinta.
There's always that point where you feel like you got them to the point where they absolutely believe in themselves, you know, because confidence is a result of action, you know. It's not a prerequisite, you know, and so I love to see guys take it on and get after it.
Here's Craig. Last Saturday, in what was the most anticipated matchup of the Round Rock Classic, Craig homered against Southern Miss into center. 2 up, 2 down quickly.
Yeah, I tell you, Southern Miss, pretty good.
Rolled through Round Rock, winning that championship, and then proceeded to beat Alabama soundly in midweek action before Crimson Tide came up here to Frisco.
Yeah, I think Alabama's got some injuries that are crucial. Talked to Rob yesterday, felt like they got some guys down.
Away to Vasquez. His 3rd start of the season.
Good pitch.
82 miles per hour, low in the zone. One offer.
I really like how quick he works. I really think it's the advantage of the defenders and the club. And
Did he check it? He did not. A pair of strikeouts for Chris Cinta in the bottom of the second inning. And the Beavers go down 1-2-3. Houston leads 1-0. 2 innings complete in Frisco.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco is proud to once again sponsor the Frisco College Baseball Classic. This is a special year as it's the 10th year for this tournament here in Frisco. We are so excited to welcome those of you who are new to our area and those of you who live here but are out for a great baseball tournament. We are proud to be community partners with this organization and hope that you enjoy the weather and the rest of this weekend.
Have a fantastic tournament. Play ball.
That I can use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
Tonight, it's game 2 of the Frisco College Baseball Classic as Iowa takes on Alabama. And then here's a look at the schedule for the rest of the weekend. We'll get started at noon on Saturday as Houston takes on the Iowa Hawkeyes at 4. It'll be Oregon State and Alabama. Sunday, we get off to an early start, 11 a.m. Central for the Beavers and the Hawkeyes. Our finale at 3 o'clock between the Cougars and the Crimson Tide. I'm Chris Mykowski. Pat Casey is alongside. Ken Jones leading our team behind the scenes here on D1Baseball.com. 9-hole hitter for Houston is due up as Tyler Cox and the Cougars turn the lineup over for McLean Helton and Xavier Perez. Cougars got off to a 4-0 start this season at the Puerto Rico Challenge. Played well enough, Coach, where there was one mention on D1Baseball.com of Houston in the Omaha 8.
wow.
That's how big of an impression they left after that opening weekend. And they have a lot of big-time pieces. One of them is missing this weekend as Trey Broussard is out for the hamstring issue. When he returns, big pop, big energy.
Yeah, Coach Whitting was talking about before the game. He says, hey, we're not extremely talented, but we got real chemistry. We got real guys that want to play. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's important in today's game, all the transfers you have.
Missing just low.
I think the impressive thing is it's not like he's touching 99. He's pitching at 99. I mean, he's touching 100, 101, but he's pitching at 99. Not sure I've seen that done by very many people at this level.
Missing in. First walk issued by Whitney. He had just one last Friday in that gym against Baylor where he struck out 17. Back to the top of the Houston order for Helton. Helton doubled to lead off the first inning for the Cougars. Moved to third on a wild pitch. Then came home on a Riley Jackson double.
Yeah, I think Houston, like Oregon State, is going to want to get some things going. You know, Whitney's a different story because you got to try to do something off him. Oregon State trying to do it because they've been kind of lackluster offensively throughout the first 6 or 7 games. So should see some movement here.
2-0, nothing doing so far. Cox has a couple of stolen base attempts this year. Swiped one. 2-1 after Helton now tapping his chest.
I just don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking if I'm 2-0 hitting leadoff hole, the guy's punching everybody out, I'm taking a slider. I don't know what he's going to do with it if he hits it anyway.
I would have made it 3-0, well low. Check over to first.
That's just a kind of a mental thing, you know. Get locked in, say, hey, I'm looking one pitch, one location, 2-0. The guy's 100 with a 90-mile-an-hour slider. Of course, he could have got fooled too, you know. I thought it was a fastball.
2-1 coming to Helton, showing bunt, laying it down to Vasquez at third, firing to Craig for the first out of the third as Cox advances.
Oregon State had to make a play. First play of the game, right? Isn't that the first one they've had to record it now?
That is the, first play by anyone in the field. The other 6 outs so far today, all strikeouts by Whitney.
Well, you called it before the game. You told me last weekend, you said it was amazing what he did. And I imagine that this is somewhat duplicating that.
And he got off to almost as hot of a start. You can't do any better than 6 consecutive strikeouts.
And let's give Houston some credit too. You know, as good as he is, they're on the board, and they got a guy at second. So, and they got him in a pitch count too. I don't know where he's at, low 40s probably, but you know, that's what you got to do. You got to force him into deep pitch counts.
Yeah, last week, Coach, 5 of the first 6 outs were strikeouts from Whitney. And then the 7th out was a strikeout. So the same ratio, 6 of the first 7, just in a slightly different order. 0-2, blew it past him at 100. Seven Ks for Whitney. I'm just looking over and you're shaking your head.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and just really think I'm really intelligent, and I'm going to guess that he's leading the country in strikeouts.
Yeah, you're there.
We got guys in the room laughing.
I want to see how far behind anybody is. I took that for granted going into the day.
I just was taken by, I'm guessing. How's that?
Only 2 up on a couple of other pitchers. 23 on the season entering today. But he is expanding his lead with nearly every batter.
Yeah, I would say that he's well positioned to hold on to that position as leading the country in strikeouts.
Grant Govell at Southern Cal, Ethan Lay at Sacramento State coming into the weekend with 21 strikeouts apiece. And there's number 8, 79 miles per hour out of Whitney's right hand. 8 Ks through 3 innings, but the Beavers need to get their bats going. They trail 1-0.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
D1Baseball.com bringing you exclusive coverage of the Frisco College Baseball Classic. This is also the place to watch this weekend's Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. Mike Farron and Mike Rooney will have the call of that one. About an hour and 15 minutes away from game one of that event as UC Irvine takes on Vanderbilt. Then later tonight, it's Arizona and Oregon.
Wow, Arizona's off to a rough start.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah, visiting with some friends from the Big 12 yesterday here to watch Houston practice and just bringing that up, and everybody's shaking their head and trying to figure out how Arizona gets things turned around. And one aspect of that that's of course important to anyone in that conference office is the tournament is now in Surprise. So they want a large contingent of Arizona and Arizona State fans there. Wildcats, a lot of baseball left to be played, but right now it look like they wouldn't even qualify for the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, it's surprising. You know, we, no pun intended with the surprising, but that tournament was Arizona State tournament. And then after Murph left, we took it on. You know, Mark Coronado said, man, you're bringing down 3,000 people. Why don't you guys host it? And it's been amazing for us ever since.
The pilgrimage for Beaver fans to Surprise is special. Through the left side of the infield, that's 3 singles for Oregon State. They trail 1-0, bottom of the third. Back to the top of the order for Talt.
You know, you go back to that last inning, Chris, and if you think about 2-0 man at first and you take the pitch to go 3-0, how that could change the whole inning. You know, big decision there. Going to 3-0, chance that he gets walked or he can start a runner. Those little things add up and make big differences because it's going to be hard to get runs off Dax.
So far, hard to get anything going off of Chris Cinta as well. This is normally a reliever for the Cougars. He gets the call here on Friday afternoon. Veteran lefty. Coach Whitting said he's not as sharp yet this year as he was last year, but still pounds the strike zones and one of the better senior pitchers you're going to find at this level. That hits Talt as he comes out of the box. And he'll go back for another chance.
Yeah, let's not overlook that. You know, you're talking about because Whitney's so dominant right now, how well Cinta's thrown. He really is throwing very, very well. Got himself out of a jam with a double play. I imagine if he's a bullpen guy that they're hoping to get 5 out of him.
Everybody reset. Haight at first. Talt batting from the left side. Showing like he would be swinging away, but watches that one travel high and outside. Talt tried to bunt for a hit his first time up, but Riley Jackson beat him to the bag by a step. 1-1. Showing bunt again, trying to push it past Jackson. Play is at second. Able to get the lead runner. Just too much juice on that bunt attempt, Coach.
Yeah, location. Like I said, he's holding the runner there. You got to clear the first baseman. You got to really force the second baseman to field the ball there because he's trying to advance the runner. I imagine he's going to run here early in the count. I know Oregon State's trying to press here a little bit. He wants to push those buttons. I like what he's doing, trying to get a lot of action, trying to get the guys on the move, trying to take a little pressure off of them. It's a good move by Mitch.
Here's Vance. Contact bat, and exactly what Oregon State needs right now. Push Talt around and tie this game. We saw those reliable hands in the first. delivering a single.
Good pitch.
Outside part of the plate. Cinta looks over to first and comes home. In the dirt,
Great
Taut
read.
is off. Runner in scoring position for the Beavers.
Tremendous read there by Easton.
Wild pitch against Cinta. 1-1. Fouled away.
You know, when you have so many guys in the middle of your order like Oregon State had last year, they're gone. You know, you're trying to figure out what is your niche, you know, and I think that's one of the issues they got going on right now. You know, do we want to play the small ball? Do we want to swing it? Do we want to run? And so this is good that they're pressing the action right now. I think it's putting a little pressure on Cinta, and he's been real good, real good.
Here's the 1-2. Strikeout swinging, 90 miles per hour. Went after the high stuff. Third K for Cinta.
You know, he's really moving the ball around, too. Guys hit velo. Now, they're not going to hit 100, but guys generally hit velo. So you have to have something that goes downhill or it moves right or left. And he's moving the ball in and out, changing speeds, and you have to do that. I mean, guys just hit velo now. You sit there and see a guy 94, 95 miles an hour in big league camp, just guys putting the barrel on everything. Got to go downhill.
First pitch to Galloway, to the second baseman. Savateri on to first, and Oregon State still unable to get anything across. Easton Taut found his way to second. That was his limit. 1-0 Cougars.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Frisco Classic presented by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow us at peak.events. That's Peak D-O-T events on social media to keep up with the best in early season college baseball. Oregon State gets Easton Taut over to second base, but that's all that the Beavers can muster in the third inning, and they remain scoreless through three. Houston plated one in the top of the first. That's the only run we've had so far today. 1-0 Cougars over the Beavers in the opener of this Frisco College Baseball Classic. And Coach, from your perspective, 10 years of this tournament, everybody I talk into the coaching world really seems to feel that this is one of the premier events. The way that Peak puts it on, the facilities, the overall experience, the reputation for Peak events and this tournament just have grown over the last decade.
I've shown up here. It's my first time back here, and it's amazing the way the people have handled everything. Ballpark's beautiful, weather's beautiful, everything is right on time. I mean, it's first class, and I know the institutions and the players really appreciate it. They travel a long way, and to have a first class tournament is something that's really cool for these young men.
Riley Jackson will be followed by Blake Fields and Dylan Maxey. For Houston, top of the fourth. Jackson responsible for bringing home the only run so far today with a double in the first.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't, that it's just kind of incredible that how the game is.
Got him to swing and miss.
This guy's leading the country in strikeouts and doesn't have a win this year, and he's behind in the game. I mean, there's no other game in the world. You know, the defense starts with the ball. Like, you know, it's just the beauty of baseball.
0-2. Fouled off by Jackson. As Dax Whitney, the nation's strikeout king through 2 weeks, has 8 Ks. A week ago in Round Rock, Texas against Baylor, had 17 for the Beavers. Got him again. 9 Ks for Whitney.
I'm not sure what to say. I can sit back here and watch. I mean, what's incredible to me is you could actually do this night after night after night. Like, I want to put a uni on right now and run up and down the dugout. You know what I mean? Like, it's good stuff, man. And like I said, I really mean what I say about D1 baseball and what they've done to get college baseball out there. It's fantastic.
Well, I had the great Mike Rooney alongside for Dax's start last Friday. And kind of like you, after a while, he was running out of ways to talk about this performance. And more often than not, it was just wow. Kept saying wow over and over and over again.
Well, Roon's a great baseball man. You know, he was at Arizona State as assistant for Pat Murphy when I was at Oregon State early in my career. So I've known Roon's for a long time. He's fantastic, loves the game, knows the game, one of the good ones.
Here's Blake Fields. Buckled his knees on that slider. Struck out looking his first time around. Two-one with 1 out. I imagine we'll get similar comments from Todd Whitting after this one's over, but last week, Mitch Thompson from Baylor said that in his 3 decades that Whitney may have displayed the best arm that he's ever seen against one of his teams.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it is. It's electric. It's not only electric; it's easy. It's a 3-pitch mix. Obviously, the slider right now, he's punching 8-9 guys out with sliders and 3-2 counts, which is crazy. He's doing it real easy.
Has a 3-2 count now against Fields. This would be strikeout number 10, but it's fouled away.
You know, for anybody that wanted to know how good he is, if you saw how easy he does it, it just tells you that there's even more in there, and it's incredible how the jump that he's made. And you get a lot of credit to Rich Dorman and all those guys there at Oregon State that have worked with this guy.
3-2. Is that going to stay in play? No, that's 3 rows deep. Galloway chased after it.
I think maybe Fields was hoping that'd stay in play. Make the Beavs make another play, you know what I mean?
Instead, another 3-2 pitch coming from Whitney to Fields. Sitting at 9 strikeouts. Whitney just inside, doesn't get number 10.
I'll tell you, the only thing that they can do right now is just continue to grind out at bats, continue to put pitch count on him. That's about all they can do. And like you said, since it's hold and serve, man, it's really a good baseball game. We don't know what either team's fielders are like because they haven't had to do much.
Fields is off and sliding in safely. his third stolen base of the year.
I like it. Both teams. I like their pressing. You got two good arms. Obviously, you're not going to do a lot of damage on Whitney, so you've got to do something. I hope they don't try to bunt here. I'm just going to try to stay inside the ball, try to run to the right side, and just hope we can move a runner.
Maxey struck out in the second. This time a one-hopper
they got him
to
hung up.
Vance, and it's Fields in a pickle. Fields is out as he retreats to second. That's the second out of the fourth.
Yeah, you get a guy in scoring position off of him, and you certainly can't give an out up there. I know it's a tough play. One thing with the hitter has got to do, he knows he hit the ball to short. He knows he's hung up. He's got to look inside and get rounded and see if he can't get to second. He did a nice job staying in the middle there for long enough time for him. If he would have immediately went to second, might have been able to exchange the out for the runner.
Back to Winfield. Winfield was Whitney's 5th strikeout victim. In the second, Maxey diving in safely. Just like last week for Whitney, everything seems to be working. He's commanding the tempo, not just his stuff. Bringing plenty of energy.
I mean, that pitch is filthy.
Coach Canham threw out the question last Friday night in his press conference. If you're a coach, how in the world do you adjust to what Whitney's doing through the course of a game? And in talking to Coach Whitting yesterday, kind of shook his head. He's like, just got to hope that there's an occasional mistake and you have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think all that's true. I also think you got to just sit pitches. I just don't think you're going to handle both sides of the plate and 2 pitches on him. I think you just got to, we faced Garrett Cole and Trevor Bauer back-to-back in 2013 and had to do that with Cole. We just jumped on the plate, said we're just going to try to get something out over the plate, give up on the one on the in, and try to pick a pitch.
2-2 with 2 out. Whitney has strikeout number 10. Buckling the knees of Winfield. Wow. Oregon State still trails, though. It's 1-0 Houston midway through the fourth. Frisco Classic is a proud supporter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Scan that QR code on your screen and make a donation to help us add tomorrows to those living with the disease. Since day one, of the Frisco College Baseball Classic. The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation has been the primary beneficiary. Peak Events has raised north of $250,000 for the cause.
That's awesome. That really is.
It'll be Vandenbrink, Singer, and Hayes for Oregon State. Beavers trail 1-0, despite the fact that their pitcher, Dax Whitney, has 10 strikeouts. That's all great, but you have to do some hitting of your own. So far, Oregon State has only have 3 singles to their credit. They were able to get runners on the corners with 1 out in the first. That's the biggest threat they've posed.
I think it's never changed. You know, until you get a little back-to-back, couple knocks. You know, and you're struggling. It's hard to tie them together, and you start pressing a little bit. And it seems like balls you hit hard or hit at somebody. So you know, they get something to fall here and get some guys going. They'll be in a position to make a move.
Big swing and a miss by Vandenbrink. 4th K for Cinta. Oregon State offense, maybe the biggest question mark on any of these teams heading into the weekend. We knew the pitching staff was elite and deep. We've also seen this Beaver team battle tested early in the year, found various ways to win games in Arizona. Then they dropped 2 out of 3 last weekend in Round Rock.
Yeah, I think they defended and pitched so well that they left them in a position they had a chance to win the ball game. You know, I think that the teacher's going to be the game a little bit for them offensively because they're young and lost a ton of their offensive production with those guys. But I'll tell you, Cinta's really moving the baseball around, really make it difficult on the hitters. He's not giving them the same look. He just continues to change sides of the plate, change speeds, change directions.
0-2 count to Singer. Missing away. And Coach Canham emphasized that his team is just hitting too many pop-ups right now. Have to be more of a threat on offense. Today, just 1 fly out. 4 Ks against Cinta. But the offense, it's young, it's inconsistent at times, just still searching for an identity.
Yeah, and I think a lot of clubs are this time of year.
1-2, fouled down the third base line.
But Cinta's making it difficult on him. He's so good at flipping sides of the plate. He went off the plate there, then jams him inside. You know, nothing's overpowering, but it's change of direction, change of speeds that's really tying him up.
One-two into right center. Fields and Perez. It's Perez coming on to make the catch with Fields trailing behind him. 2 down. Here's Hayes, who struck out in the second, first victim of Cinta. And it plunked him. Hayes clearly in some pain as that hit his back foot in just the wrong spot. He has his front foot all padded up, Coach, front ankle, but he didn't have any defense for that pitch.
No, he's going to have a thigh pad or knee pad or something for that one. Base runner.
Yeah, Oregon State gets a man aboard. That'll be the bright spot once Hayes finds his feet. And he will walk it off a bit gingerly. But he's ready to continue.
Hayes been around a little bit. A couple different schools. Landed here at Oregon State. This is the time where Craig could cheat to a pitch and get on one, you know, and get that dugout going a little bit. I'm playing a little deeper in the outfield here with 2 outs. Guy can't score from first with one swing unless he leaves the ballpark.
First pitch to Craig. Big hack. Ahead of it. Hayes with a short lead off of first.
Wow, good pitch. I think he missed that one.
Just low. One. Missing away. According to Mike Morris, calling balls and strikes. And Hayes is off to second with a throw over to first.
Got to get rid of the ball.
Safe. Got the ball to second in time. But Savateri apparently lost the handle.
It's all the little things in baseball that accumulate the big things. You know, rundowns. We used to run rundowns and rundowns and rundowns. Pick plays, bunt defenses. And I'm sure they work on it a bunch, but sometimes when you just think you're out of an inning, something like that happens.
Yeah, it was away from us to the center field side, but Savateri must have had that ball fall out of his glove as he tried to apply the tag.
Well, he's got first base open, so I would think that he would throw a pitch that Craig isn't cheating to.
Craig goes opposite field, so much room to that side, and it'll score a run for the Beavers. 1-1, Beavers on the board. Wow,
think about that. A run down and then a ground ball off the end of the bat that doesn't leave the infield and scores a guy from second. Baseball. Wow.
Little things turn into big things.
All the time. All the time. There are real no little things because they just add up and they become a huge thing. So, man, I know that little situations can win big games, and it happens all the time. It happens every weekend.
1-1, Cougars and Beavers, as Craig was able to take advantage of a huge piece of real estate on the right side of the infield. I love it, and it's one of the reasons why I hated the MLB rule of banning the shift, because hitters should be able to do things like that.
Yeah, well, you know, the problem with MLB guys is that, you know, they're not going to make a real effort.
First pitch swinging, a one-hopper to Helton. Back-to-back singles for the Beavers.
they're not going to make a real effort to do that, go the other way, and they need more offense in the game. So, I kind of forced their hand to eliminate the shift. But I'm with you. I wish a guy learned how to handle the bat if they want to shift with it. Now, in that particular deal, Craig hit it off the end of the bat. I don't think he was intended on doing anything other than doing damage, and it worked out for him. So, but here again,
I was giving him more credit than he deserves. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying it's just crazy about saying that Dax Whitney's behind 1-0 and now it's 1-1, right? I mean, both teams have scored. It's odd the way it's gone, but you're 100% right. If they're going to shift and you can go the other way, you're going to do some damage.
9-hole hitter is Adam Haight. Singled in the third. Beavers have one across and 2 men on with 2 out.
Great pitch.
Senta missing away.
Yeah, you got the mindset too of the pitcher. He's thinking, what do I need to do to get out in the inning? I picked a guy off, and I got a guy to hit the ball off the end of the bat, and I'm still out here throwing. So, if Oregon State can put one here, it changes Mo in a hurry.
2-1 to Haight. Catching the outside corner. Senta normally a reliever. This is his first start of the season. Nobody throwing in the Cougar bullpen yet. A couple of pitchers up and stretching now. 2-2 into left. Craig gets the go sign. Here comes the throw. It's off to the side. Oregon State takes a 2-1 lead. Adam Haight with an RBI single.
Just what we talked about, a little momentum. You get somebody to bang one, get across the board, put one on the board, and all of a sudden you feel a little better. You got a little bit of momentum. Now you got Easton Talt coming off. He's capable of leaving the house. All about momentum. This guy's throwing well too. It's really too bad that they couldn't get out of that inning for him. But you got to get him off the field. You got to get your club off the field.
Jacob Craig and Adam Haight both delivering RBI singles. And the Beavers may not be done yet, as we're back to the top of the Oregon State order for Easton Talt. And Houston now has Jackson Baker up and throwing, the Alabama transfer. Senta trying to get out of this 4th inning. Lifting one high to right field. Easton Talt nearly got a hold of all of that one, but it's Perez at the wall making a grab. Saving a pair of runs for his Cougars. Easton Talt denied, and Oregon State's lead stays at 2-1 through 4 in Frisco.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
Frisco College Baseball Classic is a proud supporter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and CFF brings you our trivia question. What Oregon State player won the Golden Spikes Award in 2019 after leading his team to a College World Series championship 1 year prior? The man sitting to my right knows the answer. He is not eligible for our prize.
Darn it.
We will give you the answer in the next inning. Pat Casey is alongside. He was one of the options there. I will eliminate that. Coach Casey is not the correct answer, but he knows who is.
No. I had Golden Spikes. I just wasn't playing. You know what I mean?
Lima, Cox, and Helton due to the play for Houston.
Wow.
As Dax Whitney sitting at 10 strikeouts, 4 away from tying the Frisco Classic record. It's held by Ryan Jackson of Dallas Baptist. He did that against Arizona 2 years ago. That tournament was won by the Patriots in an extra inning championship game that Sunday against Alabama. Lima lifts it to left on a line, coming on to get it. It's Hayden.
A good swing.
Barreled up, and Haight moves forward to make out number 1, leading to Tyler Cox. Selfishly, I'm rooting for the drama of the championship belt this weekend, still being up for grabs in Game 6 on Sunday. As all have the call of that finale with Jack DeLongchamp. Last weekend at the Round Rock Classic, we saw Southern Miss clinch the title on Saturday night. So not a ton of drama on Sunday. But of course, the Golden Eagles wanted to walk away undefeated. Didn't want to celebrate that championship after suffering a loss.
Tell you, they got a club this year. They really do. And they typically do. They great job. They really compete. They really swing it. And they're always going to come at you.
A lot of fun last weekend at the Rangers AAA home for the Golden Eagles. Beavers didn't have a great time there, dropping their last 2.
Was the weather as good as is it today?
Here? A little colder.
Yeah.
Still nice, a little colder.
Good
3-1,
pitch.
Whitney to Cox. Oregon State headed back home for a few days and quick return to Texas. Back-to-back peak events for the Beavers. 3-1, showing bunt, pulling back, now a full count to Cox.
I mean, when you're going 100 and you have the ability to throw a breaking ball 3-1 with a 2-1 lead with 1 out, nobody on is, wow.
3-2 foul back. Cox walks back in the 3rd, one of 2 free passes issued by Whitney. Again, the 3-2. Into left, over towards the Oregon State bullpen.
I would think the change there was a pitch that this guy's thankfully got. Because he's going to get a hunt now.
3-2. Opposite field base knock for Tyler Cox. 3rd hit of the day for Houston. Returning to the top of the Cougar order for Helton.
You know, Houston's done a good job of getting him into deep pitch counts. I mean, he's dominant. There's no question about it. But you got to give him some credit because they've got the pitch count up. You're probably not going to get 7 like he did last out of him.
That's pitch number 79 as we play in the 5th.
Yeah, he might be his last inning. I mean, they got you know, obviously they're doing a great job of looking out for him. It's early in the year. I'm sure there's a count on him. Probably 90 would be the max, I would guess, somewhere right in there.
Well, Whitney last weekend, they were threatening pulling him after the 6th, I believe, and he gave a death stare in that dugout. Like, no, I'm not done.
Scherzer, he gave the Scherzer, go back to the dugout. World Series, Skip comes out. No, you got no shot at taking me out.
This stuff just felt different, he said a week ago. But it looks the same from one week to the next here in Texas.
Yeah, I'd say he feels pretty good. It's dominant stuff, no matter how we cut it.
1-2, missing away.
I think the one thing that could keep him in a little lower pitch count would, you know, that fastball at 99 to 100. They're not doing a whole lot with. But he can command them all.
Here's the 2-2. Got him. That's 11. Well, he has that ace DNA in him, Coach. And when Whitney's on the mound, the Beavers aren't going to lose a lot. Last week, he didn't get the decision. This time, he has got a little run support, leading 2-1. As Perez lifts this one high into the Frisco sky.
I tell you, he likes that one pitch out.
11 strikeouts for Whitney. 2-1. Beavers over the Cougars. Middle of the 5th in Frisco. Let's take a look at our Cystic Fibrosis Foundation trivia question one more time. What Oregon State player won the Golden Spikes Award in 2019 after leading his team to a College World Series championship 1 year prior? It is not the man standing or sitting right now to the right of me, Pat Casey. It is Adley Rutschman. Beaver legend. Coach Casey is back on headset. We'll get some memories about that young man as we talked about Adley as the trivia answer today, Coach. Just, I'm sure so many great memories of his time at Oregon State. Any particular great story that sticks out?
Just the fact that he was such a team guy. I mean, you know, people don't realize that how important that is to a club when your best player or an elite player like that makes everybody feel like they're important. Kicked on the football team as a freshman, didn't even play fall baseball. Just amazing athlete, amazing young man.
Top of the order for Oregon State. Beavers lead 2-1. Beavers lost their Round Rock Classic finale last Sunday, as this one is lifted to Xavier in right field, 1 up and 1 down. But talking to Easton Tall after that loss to the Boilermakers, he said he expected the coaches to all come into the locker room, but it was a player-led initiative. They talked to themselves and had some positive moments, stepping up after a loss and hopefully riding the ship going into this weekend.
Yeah, you know, ultimately the players play the game. You know, I always believe that practices for coaches, games are for players, you know. And, you know, the stronger leadership you got on the field, the less input you have to have. Good swing.
Galloway into right field, backtracking. Perez makes the catch in front of the track.
If you don't have, you know, if you got a young club, I would say Oregon State might fall in that area there where Mitch has got to have more of a presence that he probably does, because you don't have a lot of leadership. Where last year you had, you know, Arquette, you had Turley, you had Weber, you had real leadership. So yeah, the players need to have their own meetings once in a while. They need to take charge once in a while. They need to ride the ship.
Here's Vandenbrink. Pair of flyouts to start this 5th inning for the Beavers.
I will tell you that Adley Rutschman, when you talk about him, I had a scout tell me when he was in high school, this guy's going to be a closer, and I said, well, can't imagine taking that athlete and only using him once a weekend, maybe twice a weekend. And he said, well, you know, I'm not sure his hands play, and you know, now he's one of the elite catchers in the games. But I'm just saying that's how advanced he was athletic. He played. I used to say his position there like a shortstop. You know, he was so active. He could come out, get bunts. He could do everything, and then of course offensively became, you know, a giant.
1-1 to Vandenbrink as we resume after an errant ball coming out of the Bama bullpen, the Houston bullpen reaching the field. That will be the Bama bullpen in our next game. Swing and a miss by Vandenbrink, as Cinta potentially has wrapped up his day now. 5 strikeouts, holding Oregon State to 2 runs. His Cougars trail the Beavers in Frisco.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
The Frisco College Baseball Classic is brought to you by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball. Covering every game from coast to coast, D1 Baseball is the resource that no college baseball fan can be without. I'm Chris Mykowski. Coach Pat Casey is alongside for Game 1 of 6 at the Frisco College Baseball Classic. This is the exclusive home of the tournament, D1Baseball.com. We'll also have exclusive coverage of the Las Vegas Classic this weekend on the platform. Vanderbilt and UC Irvine will get started in game number 1 at Las Vegas Ballpark in about 20 minutes with Mike Farron and Mike Rooney on the call. Got to spend part of my weekend with Runes, and he was just as blown away, I think, as you are by what we're witnessing from Dax Whitney.
Well, that's saying something, because Runes has seen a lot of baseball, and he loves the game. He's a purist. He knows the game. That'd be hard to think that somebody wouldn't think that was electric, but I'm glad Runes got to experience that.
Saviteri lifting one to right field. Easton Talt under it for the first out of the 6th.
I would have to think this is it for Dax. You know, he's going to get into 90 pitches here, and they're going to want to protect him. So he's at 85 now. I think your eyes are better than mine from here to the scoreboard, but I don't think they want him to get much over 90.
That was pitch number 84. Jackson doubled off of Whitney back in the first inning and then struck out in the 4th. And through his 11 strikeouts so far, Whitney has had a good mix of out pitches. Ground out third this time as Vasquez delivers to Craig.
Well, contact back-to-back batters. I don't know if that's happened yet today.
In the 5th, we had a line out by Lima followed by a single by Cox, but that's the only instance I can find.
That's why you're the chief and I'm over here. I'm over here just watching the game, having a good time. D1 Baseball, thank you.
Here's Blake Fields. In the dirt to him. Fields struck out looking in the 1st, walked in the 4th. And Coach, this is somebody that Houston thinks will be their next big superstar. A freshman, great body, great bat control, and trying to go through the middle on Whitney, but Singer backhanding and over to Craig. 3 up and 3 down, but no Dax Whitney strikeouts.
Yeah, well, that's something to talk about, isn't it? I'll tell you what, Houston's doing a good job hanging in there.
Frisco, Texas, Oregon State leads Houston 2-1, middle of the 6th.
We have a beautiful hospital, a hospital that was designed not to look like a healthcare facility. It has a warm and welcoming environment for our guests and our patients that come in, but it's really what's inside that building that makes the biggest difference. We have a dedicated group of professionals here that have been going above and beyond for this community for the past 2 years since we've been open, and really have a passion for providing outstanding care in a warm and welcoming environment.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco is proud to provide the very best in healthcare with quality of service that goes above and beyond your expectations. We've taken care of this community in its greatest time of need and will continue to do so in the years to come. I'm Chris Mykowski. Pat Casey is alongside for the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic. Jackson Baker will take the bump for Houston, coming on in relief of Chris Cinta. Pitching change for Houston after a really solid outing coach for Cinta. He's going to be potentially a tough luck loser after holding the Beavers to 2 runs in 5 innings.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he threw well, man. He really did. Really changed speeds, really changed directions. I know Baker struggled a little bit here early, but it's early. You know, batting average, ERA, those kinds of things can fool you early. One bad inning or, you know, a couple bad games. The guys get hot, things start changing. You know, nobody should make any decisions till a guy's got 50 or 75 at bats, and same with pitchers, you know. I'm sure they like him or they wouldn't bring him in a leverage situation.
Well, Baker last through last Saturday against UT Rio Grande Valley, and as Coach alluded to, he struggled. He only lasted 1/3 of an inning, giving up 3 runs to the Vaqueros on 2 hits, and both of those hits were home runs.
Yeah, peculiar they'd bring him in this situation, but maybe they want to show him they got confidence in him. He's obviously got a good arm. You know, I'm so old school that you had to tell me the monitor's right here to give me everything I need to know now, you know, because I used to think when you got somebody out it was a good pitch.
We do love the TrackMan technology.
It is advanced.
That catches the zone low. Last week, in that Friday game where Dax Whitney struck out 17, I heard from a lot of Oregon State fans who thought he got squeezed and should have had 18, and all contending that his final pitch caught the outside part of the strike zone, ended up being a ground out in the frame. Well, I had the TrackMan in front of me, and it was off the zone. The robot umpire would have agreed with the actual home plate umpire.
You need ABS, right? Well, I'll tell you, you don't know how many homegrown umpires there are in Corvallis. I tell you what, it is the breeding ground for umpires.
1-2, foul away.
We have Oregon State has the best baseball fans. You know, they're electric. They're awesome. Beaver Nation travels well. Baseball's the front porch of that university, in my opinion.
2-2 to A.J. Singer. In there for strike 3, catching the outside part of the strike zone at 95 from Baker.
The last game I was at before I flew out here from spring training, you know, with the ABS system, you get 2 challenges. The umpire, big league umpire, seriously, he was overturned 8 times in the game. Never made an adjustment on the pitch up. And they're good, too. So everybody's getting adjusted to this new system. They're actually going to measure them for their height to give each hitter his own strike zone. Complicated.
Wild. The strategy of it is what I'm hearing about more than anything else, about how you have to make a decision early whether it's worth using that challenge. So the gamesmanship is going to be a huge part of that new rule.
Man, you couldn't have said anything more important. We spent a whole meeting talking about that. You know, to use them early. Do you have more? So they're giving them the freedom to do a little bit more in spring training to find out whether the hitter, the catcher, is more accurate.
Here's the 1-1 to Hayes, trying to get it through the left side, but LaLima is there with the scoop and the throw over.
Real nice play by LaLima. Real nice. Come and got the ball pressed. But yeah, that ABS system is going to be something. And you know, once you lose your challenges, you're done. And so it's kind of like throwing the red flag out, right? You don't want to get late in the game and not have a challenge. So every club is working on what the strategy is going to be. But I'll tell you what, those catchers are pretty good at it at the big league level. I'll tell you that.
Shift is on for Craig, same as he saw in his last at bat. Able to push one through the right side. This time the shift appears to work. Sabateri in perfect position to make the play and retire Oregon State in the 6th. Beavers lead 2-1, 6th innings complete at the Frisco Classic.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. I needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
Oregon State will make a change on the bump. Noah Scott relieves Dax Whitney. 11 Ks for him, so not setting tournament records in back-to-back weeks, but still another special outing from the Oregon State ace.
He was really good, and you know, both sides, man. Let's give Houston some credit too, because that stuff was nasty. I really like what Mitch is doing here. Him and Dorman probably had a long discussion because I'm sure Dax wanted to come out, but they're looking out for his future. I was never that kind, you know what I mean? Like, I had a guy going like that, I was, hey, run back out there, you know. But good for them. They got a tremendous bullpen as well. So I mean, it's not like it's going to fall off a whole bunch. Nobody's going to beat Dax Whitney, but they got plenty of arms in the bullpen.
Here's the line on Noah Scott so far this season. This will be his third appearance, sitting at a even 6 ERA. Allowing 2 runs on 1 hit through 3 innings of work. He struck out 7 and walked 3. Opponents hitting just 100 against him so far this season. He'll face the bottom of the Houston order with Maxey, Winfield, and La Lima due up. Houston's only run came in the top of the first inning, as McLean Helton doubled and came around to score on a Riley Jackson double 3 hitters later. Maxey ripping at the first offering. A 1. Ripped through the pitch.
We go to our pen and bring in a 95. Looks like Mitch has got a little pipeline going with Iowa Western Community College. It produces tremendous players every year.
Looking for strikeout number 1. Instead, fouled away. Scott, the junior, out of Westminster, Colorado. As that one popped up into center. Hayes, the Grambling transfer, will come on to make the catch.
That's one good thing about the transfer portal. You can watch about 6 different schools from each team every weekend. You know, you didn't think you get to see Grambling State, Texas Tech, Texas, all in the same club.
Talent all coming together on these squads, and now a transfer from Blinn Junior College in Cade Climby. Takes the place of Easton Whitfield, who struck out a couple of times.
Really good pitch. Wow.
Climbing out of Sugar Land, Texas. Preseason Big 12 newcomer of the year last season. To left center. Haight and Hayes. It's Hayes making the catch. Hayes with a couple of putouts.
What a glorious day. Beautiful. The big state of Texas delivered, huh?
This is home for me, Coach. So I'm
I
glad
know.
we could provide this for you for your visit.
Great welcoming.
In this job, I have a lot of road games. This is my home series every year, right down the road here in Frisco.
You dialed it up just perfect. I'll tell you what, I have not been to this ballpark. It's beautiful, so well groomed, especially this early in the year.
Widely recognized as one of the best facilities in all of minor league baseball. Of course, the lazy river out beyond the fence and right is the main attraction, the largest water feature in professional sports. I don't think it's open for business this weekend, though. You can't get tickets to ride around in your tubes down the river just yet.
Well, I'll tell you a great story. We're playing in a regional at Dallas Baptist. And Texas was in it, and Augie came up to me and said, Case, did you ever think you'd see fish in the outfield? It flooded, and there were fish in the outfield that had flooded up from whatever body of water runs close enough to that ballpark. It was an incredible amount of rain. 2015. The only time that I got to compete against the great Augie. I actually played against him as a player when he was coaching at Fullerton.
Okay.
And then I got to coach against him there in 2015 when he was at Texas.
1-2, caught the outside corner at 96 from Noah Scott. Beavers have 12 Ks as a team. That's Scott's first. Oregon State with a 2-1 advantage in Texas.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
We're in Frisco, Texas, the first day of the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic. I'm Chris Mykowski. Pat Casey is alongside at Riders Field. Well, we got everything we wanted from a Dax Whitney start. That was special to see, but his bats finally got going as well. He didn't get that kind of support last week in Round Rock.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, both arms were good, right? And we knew Whitney would be good. Sente was fantastic. It's a heck of a ball game. I think that you're going to see a pin from Oregon State here that's going to impress us all. But Houston's doing a heck of a job of hanging in there. 2-1 ball game. Going to come right down to the end.
Jackson Baker returns on the bump for the Cougars. He'll face Vasquez, Haight, and Talt. And while a couple of runs is all the Beavers have needed so far, certainly would like to tack on some more here in the final third of this one. Vasquez struck out swinging in the second, singled in the fourth. First pitch from Baker. In the seventh, back to the wall.
He threw the first pitch in the sixth to the back of the wall.
That's his routine,
I guess. And then he was pretty good. Real good.
Native Texan from Lakeway. Great little golf course community.
I had a buddy of mine that coached with me that was the head coach at Texas Tech, and he said, Case, in every street corner in Texas you can find somebody throwing 90 miles an hour. Dan Spencer, great coach.
That's at 94, just missing the outside edge. 3-0 count to Vasquez.
You know, we're not shocked in college baseball anymore to see people coming in and going 94, 95. It's incredible how velos jumped. Routines have got so much better, training.
And you mentioned the belief in this young man as they put him in the ball game here. Got roughed up last weekend against the Vaqueros, but a really strong sixth against Oregon State. Comes back out and continues to throw heat. Watches that one go into right field, though.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Coach Gardner's got confidence in him. There's a purpose behind what they're doing. You know, these tournaments are hard. You got to gauge. You got to have 3 games. You got to know your arms. You got to kind of calculate as well. I'm sure they came into this thing looking at Dax Whitney. See, that's going to be a real challenge for us. So probably a lot of strategy goes involved with who they're throwing.
Here's Haight. Couple of singles for him in the third and the fourth.
He likes the ball in, that's for sure.
Showing bunt and pushing it to the right side. Baker will field his position. Vasquez advances to second.
I'm gonna think about pitching real careful to Talt here.
Yeah.
You know, first base open. Looks like they're going to come in and match up here, left on left. Probably a real good decision. This guy gave them what they wanted.
Cougars are sending a man down the stairs from their bullpen along the right field line. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher in just a moment. You're watching the Frisco College Baseball Classic exclusively on D1 Baseball.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
Max McCrary, the new pitcher for the Houston Cougars, freshman out of the Woodlands, making his third appearance. Just an inning of work so far in his rookie season. A couple of strikeouts and no walks. Opponents have yet to register a hit against him. Inherits a situation with a runner on first, 1 out, and the top of the Oregon State order coming to the plate with Easton Talt. But playing the percentages, lefty-lefty matchup coming. And I hadn't heard yet, Coach, if Easton got his free lunch, because Dax Whitney owed him one after he robbed a ball at the wall that would have gone out for a homer. He leaped above that yellow line, brought it back in, and then ended up winning the game for the Beavers in the 9th inning last Friday against Baylor.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a day that Dax can afford to buy him a steak dinner for that, probably.
Somebody in the post-game press conference joked that, yeah, you owe Easton a meal, and said, I owe much more than that. He saved him several times. Kind of expects Easton to rob a home run now when it's anywhere near the wall.
Easton's just like I said earlier, he's just a fun kid. He really likes the game, plays with energy, loves where he's at. Could have left like almost every player in every program.
Waiting on the 1-0 offering. Missing down from McCrary.
Right fielder's awful shallow for Talt for me, but left on left, they may play the percentages here.
You mentioned the steak dinner. So on a lot of these player bios on the team websites, you get a little bit get to know you type questions. And for Max McCrary, he was asked if he could eat one food for the rest of his life, what would it be? And kind of an odd answer you would expect as he issues a walk to Talt. You'd expect steak, burgers, pizza, something like that from these kids, right? He said rice.
Wow. And he's from Texas?
He is.
It might get him eliminated,
from the Woodlands.
Yeah.
McCrary may be done after just one hitter.
I think that they did what we thought they would do. They pitched around Easton. Now it looks like they go to a right-hander to match up here.
Richie Roman making his way in from the right field bullpen. We'll tell you more about him in just a moment. This is the Frisco College Baseball Classic on D1Baseball.com. Here's Richie Roman, the new pitcher for Houston, the junior out of Corpus Christi, making his third appearance of the year. Lengthy outing last time, 4 innings against UT Rio Grande Valley last Saturday, giving up 1 earned run, 2 runs in total on 3 hits. Struck out 4 and walked 1 Vaquero. last season transitioned into the starting rotation late and got the ball to begin games 6 consecutive weeks from mid-March through late April.
Yeah, he's been pretty good for him this year. I don't know. I think if you're going to bring your lefty in to throw around him, maybe you do that with this guy and save your lefty for another spot later in the game if that opportunity arises. But I don't know their bullpen as well as he does. He's probably got another lefty down there he'd used before him.
Well, it'll be Vance, Galloway, and Vandenbrink next for Oregon State, but 1 out for the Beavers so far. A couple of men aboard, looking to add to this 2-1 advantage. Alabama and Iowa await in our nightcap here in Frisco. Scheduled for a 6 o'clock Central Time start.
Huh.
I do see some Crimson Tide players hanging out in right field just above the Cougar bullpen, and some Hawkeyes already over down the left field line above the Oregon State pitchers, all hanging out in the shade on both sides. Pretty smart on this bright sunshiny day in Frisco. But the shadows are starting to creep in. The press box shadow about probably 15 minutes away from being in the batter's box. 1-0. Vance singled back in the first.
I think they're trying to really expect some power out of Hubbard. I think they think that he can do some damage. Really don't have to when you get to 3-0.
Hubbard pinch hitting for Vance, gets a free pass. Bases full for Oregon State.
We do have the most veteran bat boy in America with Steve Crothers. Steve's been doing that for about, gosh, I don't know, long time, 15 years.
So quick outing for Hubbard. Gives way to the pinch runner, Tyler Inge.
Tyler Inge, Michigan transfer, huh? Dad played in the big leagues. Detroit Tigers.
Got to be Wolverine, now part of this Beaver ball club.
It's kind of nice to be able to bring 2 left-handed bats off the bench there in a crucial situation.
Galloway will try to bring Vasquez, Talt, and Inge around. Beavers lead by 1. Bottom of the 7th in Texas. Galloway, the veteran, the grinder, looking for a big knock here.
Boy, they have nothing to do here but pitch to him, so I'm sure he's looking to do some damage.
One, 2. Lifted high and into foul territory. Lalima makes the play. 2 down.
Wow, big pitch there.
Got him to swing with a high fastball, and all he could muster was a pop out. Vandenbrink looking to break through. A couple of strikeouts for him today. The Beavers will talk this over before Vandenbrink's at-bat begins. Vandenbrink and all the runners on base gathering with Coach Canham and a pair of assistants down that third base line. Well, if you have the timeout remaining, this is the time to spend it. Bases full, one-run game, bottom 7.
Yeah, I think they're trying to break his rhythm a little bit, maybe just slow him down a little bit. He was 2-0 there, came back, made a big pitch. Big situation for Oregon State. You know, as much as I'm impressed with Oregon State's arms, and I haven't seen them, Houston's run some real arms out there too.
Yeah. A pleasant surprise for the Cougars in putting out a pitcher who's primary reliever to start on Friday against this Beaver ball club. And he delivered exactly what the Cougars needed, just haven't been able to muster any offense for him. Past the single run in the top of the first.
Yeah, shocking to think that Whitney trailed in this game.
Almost immediately.
The best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the country, looking for his first win of the year.
Right now in line to get it. Vandenbrink playing his 4th game of the season. Only got action in one game last weekend in Round Rock. That was against Southern Miss on Saturday night. 2-0. Lifted in foul territory in right field and a couple of rows in front of the Houston bullpen.
2-0, I love to see my guys cheating to a fastball. As a hitting guy, always trying to pick pitch and location. Real choosy here in that count. It looks like he was doing that, cheating to a fastball.
Two-1.
Wow.
Swung through it. Breaking pitch at 83.
I'll tell you, Chris, that is a really, really good pitch in that count. If he can duplicate that, hard to handle.
The 2-2. Got him swinging. Cougars get out of a jam as Richie Roman comes through in the clutch. Beavers leave the bases full. Houston trails by 1.
We have a beautiful hospital, a hospital that was designed not to look like a healthcare facility. It has a warm and welcoming environment for our guests and our patients that come in, but it's really what's inside that building that makes the biggest difference. We have a dedicated group of professionals here that have been going above and beyond for this community for the past 2 years since we've been open, and really have a passion for providing outstanding care in a warm and welcoming environment.
You're watching the Frisco College Baseball Classic from Riders Field, the home of the Texas Rangers AA affiliate, the Rough Riders. Those players currently training in Surprise, Arizona, a place that the Oregon State Beavers are very familiar with, making that annual pilgrimage there to Surprise Stadium and packing the place, Coach. I was in Round Rock with the Beavers last week, and obviously getting to be with them here again this week in Frisco. But I feel like making a trip to Surprise in week 1 is something I need to do as just a fan of college baseball.
It's special. It really is. Mark Coronado, the late Mark Coronado, was the City of Surprise advance coordinator, and man, he put on a show there, and we started traveling, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think they had over 7,000 last weekend, or the weekend they were there, opening weekend.
Cox popping up to the first base side. Brought in by Craig. Yeah, between Surprise, Arlington, and a few other places, we looked around the country in week 1 and said, college baseball looks pretty healthy right now.
College baseball is just outstanding, just awesome. What a great sport. You know, if you look at football, you know, you really got to be, you know, 300-some pound lineman and run a 4.340, whatever it is. You got to be 6'15" in basketball and be real skilled. You know, baseball gives you that position where someone can play if they do something really well.
Noah Scott against McLean Helton. Both of them can do things pretty well. Helton had a double to lead off top of the first, came around to score the Cougars' only run.
Wow. Good pitch.
Scott came in to begin the 7th, taking the place of Dax Whitney. 3 up, 3 down frame. Whitney ending his day after 6 innings with 1 run allowed on 3 hits, 11 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He threw 90 pitches. 1-2. Through the left side of the infield. Helton's second hit of the day.
Yeah, Whitney definitely lived up to the billing. There's no question about it. But it's been a great baseball game. Both clubs have played well. The arms on both sides have come in. Even the relievers have been, you know, Houston's got out of, what, 2 times the bases loaded. Once it turned to double play. Then a punch out there. Oregon State scored on in an inning, of which if Houston executes the rundown, they're probably out of the inning. Well, they are out of the inning because there's 2 outs, so it's been a heck of a ball game.
Houston will take a timeout here before Perez steps to the plate. Helton at first with 1 out. Six o'clock start for our second game today. That's Central Time, about an hour and 40 minutes from right now. Alabama coming in limping a bit after Southern Miss handled them in midweek. They'll face Iowa. And the Hawkeyes hanging out right now above the Oregon State bullpen down the left field line.
That program's got a lot better in the last couple of years, hasn't it? Man, they've had some arms there. And the Big Ten's just got nothing but better and better when you start putting USC, UCLA in there. Man.
Iowa has become frequent visitors to these peak events tournaments, as have all 4 teams in these fields. I think all the coaches had great experiences the first time around and called up Ryan Holloway and Nathan Woldridge and said, all right, how soon can we get back again?
I think you're right about that. I know Mitch raves about it, and being here for the first time, I know why.
Oregon State, the only program this year with multiple peak events tournament appearances, as they were in Round Rock a week ago and now Frisco.
Ooh.
Nearly had Helton. Got in by the tip of that mitt.
Absolutely cannot get picked in this situation.
Trailing by 1 in the top of the 8th. Houston running out of chances. Runner is going nearly through the middle. Singer making a great play. Couldn't quite extend that foot to double off Helton, but he does get Perez.
I think that ball's up the middle if he's not running there. I don't know if the shortstop will get to that ball. That's a heck of a play by Singer. He come clear across the bag, and like you said, didn't have time to tag the bag, went across the diamond. Gold Glove winner, you know. Not surprising he makes that kind of play. Another guy from Iowa Western Community College back there. They do a great job.
Here's Savateri, the Texas Tech transfer. Local product from here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Went to Rowlett High School. Lifts this to left. Hates under it. Houston leaves Helton stranded at second base. Cougars remain down by 1. Midway through 8 at Riders Field. Beavers 2, Cougars 1.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
Stay up to date with the Frisco Classic all year round. Follow the tournament on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Frisco Classic. You see the website address as well. Give that a bookmark. Sunday night, Coach typically will have a chance to reveal the field for next year's tournament. Always one of my favorite moments of the week when we can look ahead to 365 days to who's coming in the following year. I've had some tips thrown my way, nothing I can share with the general public yet, but safe to say, as always, it'll be a loaded field.
Yeah, I could imagine. This is this tremendous tournament. They do a great job, and obviously brought in quality teams, which really makes the tournament.
10 years now of the Frisco Classic. Last year it was LSU capturing the title, celebrating by jumping into that lazy river beyond the right field wall. The Singer tries to lay down a bunt. Since the beginning of this tournament, Coach, and I've been part of all 10, I had hoped that would be the celebration, jumping in to the pool.
Yeah, they do.
Some years it's too cold, I get it. But last year we had weather like this, it was perfect, and the Tigers decided we're going to get wet. Strikeout of Singer by Roman.
Well, they do that in some golf tournament. I can't remember. It's just on the ladies' tour, and I think it's in Arizona, and the winner jumps into the water. So I can't imagine 35 guys jumping into the water, but I'd like to see it.
Some great video if you can find the archives on the LSU social media feed. A really fun day. I was up here with Big Ben McDonald on the call of that game.
Big Ben, he does a fantastic job both for ESPN and the Baltimore Orioles when he does that.
Yeah, and we're thrilled to have him as part of our D1 baseball family here in these early season tournaments as well. He was with Lynn Rollins last weekend here on D1 Baseball for the Jacks Classic, which Jay Johnson's team won.
I love hearing Ben talk about he went to LSU to play basketball.
Yeah.
And then he makes fun of himself, says, just because I'm tall doesn't mean I can play.
He could pitch a little bit.
He could pitch just a whole bunch.
We had a ton of fun last year. Tigers rolling to a championship, beating Kansas State, Nebraska, and Sam Houston in the process. Jay Johnson, one of many head coaches who is a peak events advocate, and he'll bring his Tigers to one of these tournaments as often as he can, just like he did with his Arizona Wildcats before that. 3-1. Now 3-2 to Hayes.
Well, I'll tell you, Nebraska, my first year in the World Series as a coach, they were in it, and DVH was there. He was at Nebraska at the time, and what a club they had. Job Chamberlain was on that club. Alex Gordon.
Got Hayes on a 95-mile-per-hour heater in the top of the zone. 2 straight strikeouts for Roman here in the 8th after he had a strikeout to end the 7th.
The Oregon State, if they can get a couple hitters going with that pitching, they're going to be tough to handle.
Last time that Oregon State will have to navigate its way through an independent schedule this season, as the Pac-12 will be repopulated in time for next year. And they'll have a couple of Texas-based conference foes with Dallas Baptist and Texas State, as Houston will call for the trainer here after the latest pitch by Roman.
Yeah, he looked like he hurt himself. Can't lose that arm this early in the year. Boy, they're already down Broussard. He's not playing.
Take a look at the last pitch here, Coach, and see if anything sticks out. Just immediately.
Yeah, he does. Immediately
call for the dugout, rather. Well, they're calling down to the bullpen right now, and of course, the new pitcher for Houston will have unlimited amount of time to prepare as Roman daps up his infield and heads to the dugout. We'll talk to Coach Todd Whitting post-game and get the latest on Roman. Bring that to you tomorrow. But we will step aside as Houston brings in a new pitcher. Again, unlimited amount of time for him to get prepared.
We have a beautiful hospital, a hospital that was designed not to look like a healthcare facility. It has a warm and welcoming environment for our guests and our patients that come in, but it's really what's inside that building that makes the biggest difference. We have a dedicated group of professionals here that have been going above and beyond for this community for the past 2 years since we've been open, and really have a passion for providing outstanding care in a warm and welcoming environment.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
Harrison Boschel, the new pitcher for Houston, taking the bump after Roman suffered an injury. Boschel had taken all the time that he needed, now indicates he is ready to rock. Third appearance of the season for him. He was the last man out of the pen a week ago against UTRGV in a 10-6 Cougar loss. Went the last 2/3, giving up 2 runs on 2 hits.
Watching him warm up, he appears to be a guy that wants to throw you a lot of breaking balls, so which means he probably doesn't have much on his fastball, but it looks like he spins it.
2-2 count to Craig. Full count, 2 out. Roman struck out the 2 batters he faced in this inning. And Boschel finishes the Beavers off. Combined effort for Roman and Boschel to strike out the side. Cougars need to get the bats going. Their only run came all the way back in the first. We are heading to the 9th. Beavers 2-1.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
Fun and games here in a minor league ballpark. We get some of the minor league hijinks as well. The latest being a dot race down the left field line. And that, Coach, part of a VIP experience for a couple of those kids who came up and visited us in the 6th inning. Their family won a silent auction at the Sandlot Children's Charity event down at Globe Life Field last summer and getting to cash in. Part of that prize was to spend an inning in the booth. I don't know why they would want to do that, but it's nice to think that people want to hang out with us.
Well, they've listened to you before. They want to come up and sit with a superstar. I remember them both, Christian and Henry, and they were going to go down and run the race, and good for them, man. What a great cause.
They got a chance to spend part of pregame down on the field with these two teams. They asked me if they could get autographs before the game. I was like, no, these guys are locked in. Wait for post-game. So as soon as this one's over, they're going to be pulling out the pens with the Cougars and the Beavers.
Funny, I had a guy waiting for me here at the stadium when I walked in. And he said, hey, can I have your autograph? And I looked at him. I said, do you know who I am? He said, I know exactly who you are. And I went over there, and he had a baseball that was signed by 13 coaches that had won a national championship.
Wow.
And he said, I've been trying to follow you around, blah, blah, blah. And he came in, and I said he couldn't get in the gate, so he came into the Oregon State baseball team, signed it, and it was cool. I was looking at the ball. Augie Garrido, Rod Dado. How long ago was that? He still got the ball.
This is Isaac Yeager into close for the Beavers, and he strikes out Riley Jackson to begin his appearance. Transfer from Washington, making his 5th appearance of the season. Saw him twice last weekend at the Round Rock Classic, going a 1/3 of an inning against Baylor and then a full inning against Purdue. Earned the win in that Baylor game as the Beavers scored 2 late thanks to Easton Talt's 2 RBI in the 9th. Now he faces Blake Fields.
He's flipping that, going from the Huskies to the Beavers.
0-1 in the dirt.
I can remember.
Yeah, it used to be that would be something that wouldn't think of
Yeah,
transferring between Pac-12 rivals.
Exactly.
Now Huskies are in the Big Ten. You can transfer interconference anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yes, every time I think of UW, I think of Tim Lincecum, because that was a real arm coming at you, and about 160 pounds at the time. Fantastic breaking ball, electric fastball, competitive, beyond competitive. Used to hook up with a guy we had named Dallas Buck, and Dallas he was real competitive as well. Great games with those guys. Yeah, you're right. You never hear of that. It's part of what they do now, part of what everybody does.
3-1 with 1 out. Missing in. Fields is aboard. Potential game-tying run on the base paths for the Cougars.
Probably got a pinch run here, I would imagine. I don't know what kind of runner he is, but
Fields has some speed, Coach.
All right.
A couple of stolen bases this season.
All right. You did your homework better than I did. I saw him hit the ball in the gap there earlier and didn't know he's that kind of runner. What do you do here? You got an offensive meeting. We need a ball in the gap, please. How about that?
Well, Dylan Maxey will be the one tasked with that. And he is 0 for 3 on the day, but he'll be lifted now as we see Karsten Sabathia pick up a bat for the Cougars. The senior transfer from Georgia Tech.
Danny Hall's got a club out there this year, doesn't he? Wow. Georgia Tech.
You may have heard of this kid's dad. CC spent 19 seasons in the MLB. 3 different teams. And now, young Sabathia looking to make his way in the world with the Cougars.
Yeah, they just announced they're gonna retire CeCe's jersey there with the Legends. Yankee Stadium.
See him in Monument Park soon. Karsten spent a couple of seasons with the Yellow Jackets, now in year 2 with the Cougars. Opening day starter as he joined this squad last year, but so far this season making only his 3rd appearance and his 3rd plate appearance overall.
Well, they must have something in him because pinch hitting him in this situation, it's a big situation. We'll find out what kind of discipline he has at the plate right here. He should be looking for 1 pitch in 1 location.
Fields leading off first. Sabathia just foul. That got your heart pumping as that came off the bat, but it drifted away.
Yeah, that would have put him at second, and possibly scored the run, probably second and third.
Two-one coming to Sabathia. Into right. That'll fall in front of Talt. Houston has a pair on. Sabathia representing the go-ahead run.
Good piece of hitting there. Stayed with it, took it the other way.
Sabathia gets the job done, and Irvin Weems will take his spot at first. Fields at second, Weems at first. And this will be Climby at the plate. Climby pinch hit for Winfield in the 7th. Flied out to center. Missing in. Yeager on the bump for Oregon State. First team All Big Ten a year ago for Washington.
Little off-speed pitch out over the plate. Good 1-0 pitch.
One out, 2 men on for Houston. Missing low.
Those shadows are going to come into play here in just a real short period of time if they already haven't.
The press box shadow is on top of the plate, extending about a third of their way towards the mound. Breaking stuff that Climby can't hit.
Those are hard to hit. They're even harder to hit when they're off the plate. Tough 3/4 arm bender.
The 2-2. Missing in.
What do you got for me here? You think they're going to start the runners?
I don't think so.
I think you're right. I don't think they will. Not a very big lead. Second base was playing him somewhere where we can't really get too much.
Potential liner into a double play. Don't want to risk that either. Three-two now with 1 out. Yeager coming home to Climby. Nearly hit him, but it is ball 4. Bases loaded for Houston. And La Lima due to the plate. 0 for 3 today, but on the season to this point, a very hot start. 4 runs batted in, a couple of homers. Batting average of .370. This is a bat that you're happy to have coming up in this situation.
Yeah, he had a good bat earlier. Hit a line drive to left, I think it was. But got guys in scoring position. They have not had that most of the day. They have not had runners. I don't think they've had a runner at third base, have they? Because they scored in the first inning.
No,
double.
First time. Yeah. I mean, Helton touched third on his way home, but nobody has stopped there.
Yeah, I don't think they've
so far today. Well, Oregon State will make a change. Yeager won't have an opportunity to finish the job. It'll be Albert Robles for Oregon State. Bases juiced for Houston in the top of the 9th. 1-run ball game in Frisco. Albert Robles on for Oregon State. Earned a save a week ago against Baylor, coming on in the 9th and picking up a couple of strikeouts as the Beavers got 2 runs in the top of the 9th, called on Robles and finished off a 3-1 victory over the Bears, which was their only win of the weekend at the Round Rock Classic. This is game 1 of 3 for Oregon State this weekend in Frisco. And the Cougars have loaded the bases on them in the top of the 9th. Frame started with a strikeout of Riley Jackson. Then Blake Fields walked. He now stands at third. Sabathia singled. He was pinch run for by Weems, who's now at second. And Climby walked. He is at first. Jackson Lima to hit for Houston. 0 for 3. First pitch coming to the sophomore third baseman. Popped foul.
Lots of off speed with this guy.
Lima coming through in the clutch a couple of times already this season. Another huge opportunity here. Missing inside. La Lima big in Houston's final win in a 4-game trip to Puerto Rico, beating Washington. And then another clutch knock against UTRGV last week. 2-1 the count against him.
This is what you play for right here, both sides. Big situations for big players.
Two-one count, one out, bases full of Cougars. Fouled on the third base zone.
Ball three, ball way off in the plate. Robles has got him where he wants him. Probably going to throw him a breaking ball. Try to keep him off balance. He went inside there.
Two-two pitch coming from Robles. Lifted, will stay in the infield. Vasquez makes the play, 2 outs.
Good pitch, 91 on the hands.
Tyler Cox will sit down. As Carter Sintek gets the call with 2 out and the bases full. Sintek, the senior transfer from South Dakota State. First pitch from Robles. Down the middle at 90. Last year led the Jackrabbits in batting average, hits, and runs scored. Now the biggest moment yet as a Cougar.
Wow.
Facing an 0-2 count.
Fastball. You got that funky arm angle real high. Probably hard to see, hard to pick up.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bases loaded for Houston. The Cougars trail by 1. Robles watches that one go foul.
That's the way it should be, isn't it? Right here, right to the end. Big time crowd, big time game.
A classic to begin year 10 in Frisco. 0-2.
And that's
Got
it.
him swinging.
Wow.
Robles with the bases full of Houston Cougars. Blows it past Sintek. Beavers win.
Big time pitch there. Man, good pitch. Came in with the bases loaded. Pitched 2 guys. Good win for Oregon State.
Albert Robles comes on to earn the save, and the Beavers start their trip to Frisco with a victory over the Houston Cougars. Now our play of the game here on the Frisco Classic, presented by University of Alabama Online. And it's the go-ahead run-scoring single for Oregon State as Adam Haight delivers to score Jacob Craig. That came in the 4th inning. That was the end of our scoring today. Our player of the game is Dax Whitney, last week's tournament MVP in Round Rock, in the same stellar form today in Frisco. 6 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts.
Pretty good way to start, right? What a way to start the tournament. Both teams played well. Not a lot of offense. Pitching was outstanding.
Our player of the game presented by University of Alabama Online, as the Oregon State Beavers are first winners in the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic. We're a little over an hour away from Game 2 of the Frisco Classic. The Iowa Hawkeyes and the Alabama Crimson Tide set to do battle. Coach Casey and I will give way to Darren Vaught and Jacques Delanchamp. Stick around for their call here on D1Baseball.com. We will see you again tomorrow. For now, good day from Frisco. Keep watching D1Baseball.com.